Welcome back to Beyond the Numbers. I'm Randy Kardas, CPA. Today's episode is for anyone who wants to get through January without the usual 1099 panic, the spreadsheet chaos, and the last-minute scramble for missing details. I recorded this conversation live at Sage Future, where I met Audrianna Saglimbeni from TaxBandits. What caught my attention was their focus on 1099 automation, specifically eliminating the manual work that tends to pile up right when deadlines get tight. In this interview, we talked through what it looks like when 1099 filing becomes a repeatable process instead of a fire drill. Audrianna breaks down how TaxBandits approaches the problem with built-in validations, the option to use a template, and an integration approach that can push data over from Sage Intacct or QuickBooks Online and reduce the mapping burden teams usually get stuck with. We also get into the year-round moves that reduce January stress, like 1099 collection and TIN matching, along with a client portal that supports secure review and communication when something needs to be corrected or confirmed. So, quick reminder, this episode is educational and general in nature, so this is not tax or legal advice. Please enjoy this interview. I hope you learned something that you can take away into this upcoming 1099 season. Let's get into it. Hi, everyone. I'm joined here today by Audrianna from TaxBandits, and I'm so excited to see you here today. This conference, Sage Future, has been quite a thing, hasn't it?
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
It's been nice. This is actually my first Sage conference. I'm here with my partner, Mark. He's been to a couple of them, but it's something that we don't get to engage in, in our day-to-day. So it's been good, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and something that caught my eye when I came by your booth was the 1099 automation. And it got me thinking, just because I know the feeling, when I was a controller and a CFO, 1099 season comes and it can be very grueling, especially if you don't have the technology in place.
Yeah, so the solution is most people are spending their entire season like prepping. They're getting the 1099s together. They're getting the last minute information that they need from their clients. And then they're adding, I know the world of CPAs is spreadsheets to spreadsheets. So, they have to continuously add this data to a spreadsheet, get it in their system, and then, validate it and then do the filing. So with TaxBandits, we are doing the validations internally. We make it really simple for you to just download our template, or you can do the integration with Sage. It's just a matter of a button now. So it's pushed over, and then the business validations are done.
When did your journey start with 1099s and automation?
It's funny because this is not the world that I came from. I came from the food service industry. I started on customer support. Literally, I started taking phone calls, learned the product, got engaged with the CEO. We just worked really collaborative together. Our whole office does, but the growth has been incredible. So now I'm the product manager for a tax filing software that the technology is growing, and we play a pretty big role in the requirements behind it, and the analyzing, and what kind of features are we gonna put in the pipeline today, and it's really connecting the users to the technology. So it really just comes down to what pain points do we want to solve for these people, and it's hard when you're in technology to really grasp that. You can do all the research in the world, you can figure it out, but you're still gonna miss that customer experience, the real pain of it, from the phone calls, and they're like, I'm freaking out because I just had somebody send me their information. It's last minute. I have all my stuff in, but I don't want to go through the whole process again. Let me know, what am I supposed to do? And then we'll go back and this is an issue that they're having, and we'll have these discussions, and it'll just grow. Again, in technology, it's really complicated because it has to be. It has to be complicated. It's technology, but we want to deliver that in a simple way. We want to be the solution for the CPAs and business owners too. Yeah. It's not just the big CPAs with accounting firms, and it's the business owners that they just want to do their job and what they do well. They just want to own their business, run it. They don't want to worry about taxes. So we have a simple platform for them to go in there, do their W-2s and their 1099s, pay their contractors. We have a W-9 system where it's that beginning stage where you can gather that 1099 information, make sure the TIN number is correct, make sure their name is correct, instead of having to chase them down when at the end of the year. But the IRS has updated their e-file system to the IRS system, so it's more immediate now. So instead of getting a letter 2 years down the line from your audit that the IRS finally got to, they're doing it more immediate now. So we've integrated and updated our system along with the IRS system. So it connects and it works together seamlessly. So we just have all those validations in place to make sure like that doesn't happen. They're not going to get an audit. They're not going to get like a rejection. You did your W-9s at the beginning of the year. You validate the TIN matching. You can do the TIN matching. You can do it automatic. The USPS validation. Get your recipient copies to the recipients, because that's a obligation that you have as well.
I feel like compliance as a whole, small businesses, even mid-sized businesses, that can be like such a strain on a team, or even business owners who might not be accountants at their core. It's just, I remember when I first started in accounting, one of my my first project was 1099s.
Was it?
And not an intern in accounting at a small at Campbell Company when I first started.
That's awesome.
And that was the task. Hey, we've got to get 1099s out, and we use really a legacy product, Thomson Reuters. And can we figure out how to use the system to do it as opposed to manually computing this?
Yeah.
And we got pretty far. We were able to do some imports. We figured out mappings. But I look back to that and I feel like the average business owner, that's a lot to ask.
Truly. I mean, there's a lot of systems out there that it's so manual. Even you think it's a solution, but it's so manual. You got to map it. You got to download your data. You got to put on the spreadsheet. You got to map it. You got to, and to some extent, you'll still have to do it with your payroll and your information. But with the Sage integration, if you already have it all in Sage, your data, your payroll, your accounting details, you press a button. It pushes it over, it maps it automatically. Like it's the technology, it puts it in the place that it needs to be. You'll be able to validate, like, a final sweep through, like, is this, what it's supposed to be? Is everything look good? Most of it is, because the technology works well. But you can validate that and you can check that. And then you move on. You're not having to do any more manual steps in TaxBandits. You're just continuing forward until you get to that checkout. You check out and you're done. Like there's not, you're not having to spend an hour in it. You can get it done in under 10 minutes.
See, that ability to just easily complete the task.
That's it.
Is something that it really draws me to a solution like this too, because as an accountant, you want a solution that it just makes sense. It's intuitive.
Yes.
Intuitive. It doesn't take a full implementation, or you have to go get your certification to now leverage it.
Right.
So in what ways now does really the 1099, this new industry, really, this 1099 automation solution allow and enable accountants to leverage a single solution, a single UI, all embedded within the accounting system? Like I feel like the benefit is grand.
Like you said, it's all in one spot. So you have your accounting, you push it into TaxBandits, and it's going to validate it. It's going to make sure it's along the lines of the instructions for the 1099. So it's going to validate that. It's going to make sure it doesn't tell you what data to put on the form, because it is self-guided, but it's guiding you along the way as far as like your compliance, making sure that you're along the lines of your compliance in the instructions. And then you can add your state details, which states are a beast in its own, like each state. And most people don't report with the state with 1099s, but still, it's a thing. Like people still need to in some states. So, I mean, we've done tremendous research and made tremendous relationships with the states, and that's another point that makes us a solution, an all-in-one solution, because that's not that's really hard to do. And we want to give you all the knowledge-based information that we can to help you along in your 1099 journey, outside of the validations that's built into the system.
So something that Aaron Harris talks about, CTO of Sage, is the continuous close.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're like inching closer and closer to it, over the last 8 years that I've been here. And I feel like this 1099 automation fits right into that, because year end comes and it's always this mad rush. It's spreadsheet chaos.
Oh my goodness.
And PDF chaos. You think about filling these out, having to print them out. In what ways do you think TaxBandits helps us not just inch closer to that continuous close, but I mean, this allows you to probably save countless hours at year end?
It's the solution at the year end, but then just preparing throughout the entire year is a solution as well. With these teams that are working on these year ends, you have staff, you have people that you're working with, you're delegating to, you have somebody who's preparing it, transmitting it, or however you need to do it. You can assign roles in TaxBandits as well. So that's one way to kind of split that up. From Sage to TaxBandits, you're assigning, okay, you're going to check over this, you're going to review this, you're going to make sure, and so on and so forth. The entire workflow from start to finish. You can prep with the W-9s, the tune matching. You can have that done throughout the year. You can delegate that between your staff members. You can even, there's a client portal that we built as well. So you can kind of communicate with your clients and say, hey, does everything look okay? They'll send it back. And then you're good to go. So you're just sitting there, you're waiting to transmit, at the 31st. Some people wait till the 31st. We don't recommend it because, the IRS, you never know. But it's just making sure that you're filling in those blanks along the line, so you're not like at the end of the year you're crashing out. But if you are crashing out, it's fine, because we're gonna make it simple and you're gonna get to the point, you're gonna get it done.
So a lot of accountants leverage external firms to get 1099s done.
They do.
What does that mean when someone's leveraging a solution like yours?
Well, a lot of the times your accountant is outsourcing to us and using us as their tool to complete the service to their clients. So yeah, they're gonna make a killing, and they're gonna use the best solution that's out here, which is TaxBandits, and they're gonna pay like pennies for it, because we do volume-based pricing. I mean, it's down below $5, for a form, and that's the internal validations. You don't have the all the manual, work that you're having to do. You're getting it done, and then you're charging your clients, and you're making a killing. So
that's great too. I feel like that affordability means a lot, especially if you've got clients that, maybe they only do 10, 15 of these a year versus, the client that does 250, 500,
yeah, either way, they're saving a lot. Like, there's a million things that you have to deal with at the end of the year, like your 1099s. It's something you have to do, not that you want to do. So we try to keep that affordable.
One of the things this makes me think about is, how we used to do 1099s. A lot of times, we would get the year end, and I'd be, all right, where do I start? And you go back to what you did last year. Have you guys solved for that with this solution?
Yeah. I'm glad you say that, because absolutely, once you import once, it's auto saving to your account. All your previous filings, you can download a report. Reports are huge in accounting. You want something, you want a PDF or something, or spreadsheet. You can go back and look just down your list. You can see you have visibility to it all, so you're not like having to go to a million different pages and things. So you search for that one client that you had last year that you have to kind of match what they have then to now. So it's that visibility. It's giving you the reports of everything that you did last year, and then on top of that, it's auto saving. You're not having to go back and do that. So you'll have that. You'll have it for up to, per the IRS, you'll have up to 7 years, but we go to 10. So yeah,
Oh, great.
yeah,
That's
it'll always be there.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
And I think, like, man, to be able to do reporting on 1099s, how much did I spend, but comparative analysis.
So in our it's dashboard. So the dashboard will be like all your payer name. We
Mhm.
I know a Sage refers to them as vendors, but when it comes over to TaxBandits, it's the payers and the dashboard.
Yeah.
So no, they're all kind of just grouped together. There are
Right.
form types, so we don't
Yeah.
just do 1099. Like I said yesterday, like
Mhm.
the majority of the 1099s in the series, like the B,
Mhm.
the C, the SA, the
Yeah.
DIV, the INT, the miscellaneous, which is another big one too,
Okay.
and W-2s. Another really popular one that we support is the 1042 and the 1042S, which is the foreign.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a hot topic this year. We're having more clients come in with those ones.
You mentioned client communication. I remember one of the biggest hardships at year end was, okay, I've got these new vendors maybe, and I haven't gotten their W-9s. I need to reach out to them. I need to collect some information from them.
So we have the client portal, and then we also have a W-9 manager tool. They work together, but the W-9 is like that pre-work. The goal is for the contractors who are paying for jobs on the spot. They're not thinking about, let me give you your 1099. I have to get your details so I can issue your 1099 at the end. They're not thinking about that. But the goal is it's for them too, that to become a normal practice for, it's a QR code. You scan this, and I'll have your details. When the time comes, it'll be stored. It'll be ready to be used, and I'll have your details, and we'll be compliant because, like I said, with the IRA system, it's immediate now. You're not going to get a letter if you have the wrong tins or they didn't give you a tin at all. You're not going to wait 2 years. It's going to be immediate. But at the year end, say you complete the 1099, and there's still some things that, or maybe you have a client that's just like, I need to see it. I want to review it. You'll have that too. We've seen it. So it's a very secure portal. Security is everything to us. You send it to them, they can okay it. It goes right back to the portal, and then it'll go into the transit to be sent whenever they click that button. It's ready to go, or they can, have constant conversation, whatever it takes. And then in between, there's the tin matching, so that's automated as well. It's gonna cross check against the IRS records. If something's wrong, say it comes back, and they can just reach out in the client portal and say, hey, what's going on, and then they'll look into it, because a lot of the times it's maybe a maiden name or maybe a married name. There's a lot of we saw a lot last year where they were getting a lot of failed tins, not knowing why. So it took a little investigating, and that took a lot of communication between their client. And not everybody has. If you have 1,000 clients, and you have a couple that are having this issue, you don't want to call them back. It's just a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
So the client portal, it's like, hey, what's the tin? It's all in one spot. You don't have to worry about it. So, but yeah.
And that's like one of those, like, how many accountants that used to prepare 1099s manually would actually go through that step of tin matching? Like,
right.
That to me, I feel like was a black hole.
Yeah. A lot of people, we try to be proactive. We try to get it in their face, like, do the tin matching. It's going to be in their face now, whether they like it or not, with Iris, though, because it's coming right back. It's going to come back as accepted with errors. And again, we've built our technology to align with that. We did it last year. It was a blind spot for us, because it was the first year that we were so reliant on that system alone. They still had the fire system available, but we wanted to be proactive. We wanted to build with that. So we do have an advantage with that. We learned it. We learned a lot with that. It's going to come back accepted. You have to file a correction. We've also made all of our corrections free. So we've seen that, a lot of times you come back and you have to correct a couple things. And with the IRS system, again, it's automatic. It's coming back. You have to file a correction to fix those. It's not just like a rejection. You fix and retransfer it, which you can do that too in the system for free at no cost.
That's awesome.
But the corrections, we have a commitment now or where whatever it takes, if it's rejected, you can send it back at no charge, which that's something we've always done. But those corrections, it's going to be huge. Like nobody else is doing that. There's nobody else is saying, hey, you can file free corrections. That's huge because that's, it's like we've got your back. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
yeah, it is. It is.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me today,
Yeah, thank
Audrianna.
you. It was
This was
really
pleasure.
nice. Yeah, this was awesome.
Great. So if you're looking for clarity and confidence, please consider TaxBandits as one
Please.
of your solutions. That was my conversation with Audrianna Saglimbeni from TaxBandits, recorded at Sage Future 2025. If you want to reduce stress and sleep better during the January 1099 window, here are 3 practical takeaways from today's discussion. First, start earlier than you think with W-9 collection. TaxBandits described a workflow where W-9 gathering is handled upfront, including a QR code-based approach that helps capture details before year-end pressure hits. Second, validate before you transmit. We talked about TIN matching and related validations, plus the reality that filing systems are getting more immediate about feedback. This means errors can surface faster and trigger corrections. And third, build a process you can repeat next year. That includes role-based workflows, a client portal for back and forth review, and clean reporting so you can reference prior filings instead of rebuilding them from scratch every January. Audrianna noted that corrections are part of the real world, and they emphasized support for handling those corrections within the system. If you found value from this episode, share with a person on your team who ends up handling those 1099s every year. And follow Beyond the Numbers for more conversations focused on practical finance, tax operations, and better systems. I'm Randy Kardas, and I'll catch you next time where we go beyond the spreadsheets, beyond the chaos, and of course, beyond the numbers.